I'm Carrieblogger. Welcome back to Freelance Friday. Whether you're new or have been here before, all around, welcome. I am a career freelancer on Fiverr Pro, and I've been selling there for 7 years as a copywriter. And for today's Freelance Friday, I have my sister-in-law here, Eryn.
Hello.
First of all, if you're interested in books and self-deprecating humor, be sure to check out her channel, which I will link in the description below. And yeah, so I think that one of the hardest things about freelancing is no one knows what you do. Exactly. Which is what a lot of my videos have been about, and just being transparent about what it actually is like to not have a 9-to-5 job and really be a freelancer. And so in an effort to answer some of those questions today, Eryn is going to be asking me questions in a little Q&A video. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So I guess the first thing is, since it's not a 9-to-5 job, how do you tell yourself when to stop?
I definitely don't stop until it's done, because one of the things, at least on Fiverr, that will kill your reputation instantly is if you deliver something late. And that is literally just a timer. So there's 5 days to do it, and if it's late, it can automatically be canceled and I automatically get a terrible review, no matter what. And so I never stop until it is done. And so with that, I just try to schedule out backwards as much as possible. So if I know that I got a ton of orders that are all due 5 days from now, instead of stressing about it in 5 days, some of it goes today and some of it goes tomorrow, and I just spread it out backwards so everything is an even workload. But yeah, when I have a lot to do, I can't stop until it's done.
But even during just a day-to-day schedule, how do you say, okay, it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to bed now, and turn it off, since you work from home?
That's never happened because I plan my schedule so efficiently, I guess. Even on a day when I'm really busy, I was still only working until 7 or 8 at the very latest, and that was still I won't let myself work that late. My whole life I've never been a study all night, don't sleep kind of person. I don't know why, but somehow that just works out that I never work late, because I just don't.
Yeah.
But I understand that, how do you stop? I don't know.
Yeah.
It just does.
It just does.
It just does.
Okay. Because I know that sometimes, when you're home, I know for me, the transition from even between high school to college, where in high school it's super structured, and then college it's not as structured, or you get to make it your own. It was hard to make myself do everything because there wasn't that structure. So I know, I just wondered, because it's your own and you have to do it,
yeah,
if that was hard.
No, because I've always loved projects. Projects are my jam, and so every order is a project to me.
Yeah.
And so it's just a lovingly amazing feeling to check off that I've done my task for the day, and I'm completely willing to put in the time and focus and energy to get it checked off, and nothing stresses me out more than finishing the day with something unchecked.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that response time is a factor on Fiverr to messages and stuff. So how does it work when you're sleeping? Does that affect it?
Yeah, so it's all the time. It's an average or whatever. And so there are people who, and I sleep for 9 hours and 20 minutes every single night, non-negotiable. And so I will answer questions before I go to bed. Although usually by the end of the night, I get super tired of it, and I don't have the patience for it anymore. So I'm I'll leave it. So let's say I stop messaging at 7 p.m. and I wake up at 7 p.m. a.m. I didn't think for 24 hours. And so yeah, that's 12 hours on the clock that I'm technically not responding.
Yeah.
So I make up for that in I'll be working and someone will message me and I'll answer back in a minute. And so that minute will negate the fact that it took me 12 hours for another. But it's just an average.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering, because I know that if I had to be on all the time to answer everything quickly, it would stress me out to the point where I was I can't sleep, otherwise this is gonna affect it negatively,
Yeah, and there are some people, I have ordered some things personally, and they'll be in China or something, and I will message them and they will literally message me back in a moment, and it's 2 a.m. there, and I'm do you have a team of people you're working with, or do you not sleep? Because I am asleep at 2 a.m. and I'm not answering anybody. Because I'm responsive, but I'm not that responsive.
Yeah. You've kind of answered this, but just more specifically, or if other people haven't seen all of your other videos, what are vacations like? So do you work when you're physically on vacation, and how do you decide how much time to give yourself for genuine vacation where you're not working at all?
I almost always work, well, that's not true. If it's short, I will take a couple days off. No, that's not even true. I don't know. The one thing I can think of is we went to Europe for a month last summer, and I was on the clock and I worked the whole time. I obviously turned off certain gigs, so I wasn't home, so I couldn't do photography and I couldn't do reviews. So I turned those off and said they're paused. But the rest of things I said I would just be available to work. And like most things in my magical universe, it just worked out really well.
Yeah.
And I only had, like, it was a really low month for orders, but they were all really high cost. So I would have like one order every 3 days that was worth about like 7 small orders. And I would just do that one order like when I was on a train going to another city. And so it worked. If I had gotten too busy that it was actually getting in the way of my vacation, and that's kind of just like a personal decision, I probably would have turned myself all the way off, but it didn't have to. And so I use vacation mode really minimally, and I pretty much only like turn everything off if I absolutely have to, or if I really, 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 really want to. And that doesn't happen super often.
So how many vacations do you like allow yourself in a year on average, and like how long are they? Cause
like the not working vacations?
Yeah.
This year was more. As I made that video about vacation and I was like, I never go on vacation. Then I did it again like a month later. Usually it's like 1, and usually it's for like 2 weeks. I took off like 2 weeks for my wedding. I took off like 2 weeks for my brother's wedding, and other than that, I don't think I take off vacation. I think it just magically gets slow when I need to like do cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
I don't know.
works for you.
I don't think it works that well for everybody else.
Yeah. What made you choose copywriting specifically, and how did you know that you were like qualified enough to do it? Because you went to school for music, and obviously I've never like read anything that you've written, so I don't know. I'm assuming you're good at it because you don't do things that you're bad at.
Yeah.
But
no, the terrible truth is when I first started this, I had no experience, and I just thought I can do that. That was it. That was the whole reason I started. I've always been good at writing. I've enjoyed writing in school. I wasn't even like a writing specialist. I mean, I took like the AP English courses and stuff, but I just thought I'm good at that. I have really good command of grammar. I know how to do I like projects. And so the first things I started offering were blogs, because at the time I had been writing my own blogs for that blog that I had for Always a Holiday, RIP Always a Holiday. But yeah, I had no actual credentials of any kind. And so part of what's so cool about Fiverr is you can just like prove your skills by doing them. And so I could guarantee that what I was delivering at first was not amazing, because I was like getting used to doing it, and I had to kind of figure out like my voice. I honestly taught myself some grammar things that I didn't really realize were wrong until I was writing all the time. Like hyphens. I did not use enough hyphens before. Now I understand how they work. And but now I think my credentials and credibility has just grown out of doing it and teaching myself and getting better. But yeah, at first I didn't have any special reason except I thought, I know how to write.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any credentials except I'm in college. I don't know. It's a good question.
Since you joined super early on Fiverr and you were one of like the first people, how did you know like, I guess, what to sell and like what would be profitable? Like, I know you do copywriting, but what were the original options for everything?
One of the big things that I had considered doing was voiceovers, because that was one of the first big categories. It was like logo design, copywriting, and voiceovers were like pretty much the big 3. And I was still 3 years late, like from when it was technically started. It was technically started in 2010, and I started in 2013. But again, I just thought like, what are natural skills that I have? And I thought I'm pretty good at writing. And yeah, there's a lot of blogs being offered on the site. People need blogs, right? And so I'd considered voiceovers, but I thought I don't want to invest in technology to do it. And honestly, I'm not great at like making my voice sound interesting. And so I was like, I don't have enough tangible skill to do that I don't want to like teach myself new things. And then like determining how much to charge at first, I literally just looked at what other people were doing and then tried to pick something comparable and just like made sure that my gig like pictures and descriptions were interesting, that like my face was prominent, that I'm like a real person people could trust. But yeah, I wish that my origin story was better, because I literally just signed on to the platform and was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Other people are doing that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I picked a good niche because copywriting has always been a really strong category as far as like as the whole time I've been into it.
Yeah, and now it's like the site is super expansive, so you can choose pretty much anything.
Pretty much anything, yeah.
So I think now it's almost overwhelming looking at everything that you could do and trying to pick.
Yeah, and even like one thing I've noticed over the years of doing it is that Fiverr has created new categories to facilitate things. Like other people were already offering ebooks, and that's something I'd considered doing, and I'd done like on a one-by-one basis. People would ask me like, hey, we've worked together, will you write an ebook for me? And I'd say sure, but I wasn't offering it specifically. And so Fiverr saw that there was a growing number of gigs in that category, so they built an entirely new category for ebooks. So the site looks like it's expanding a lot more, but in truth, I think a lot of those things were already happening. They were just harder to find because they were all inside like writing.
Yeah.
And then it's like writing or business writing or ebooks or websites or blogs. And so it's just like getting more of a grid to like find what you're looking for.
More detailed categories to navigate.
Yeah.
If you, let's say you decided you didn't want to do copywriting anymore, is the site like super rigid in that like you would have to create an entire new account, or would you just like switch all your gigs, take all the old ones off?
Yep, I could just make all new gigs.
I just didn't know if it was like, okay, I'm signing up into the copywriting category and this is what I have to do, or I have to start over.
Yeah, no, you actually just sign up as a general seller in the whole marketplace, and you can do whatever the heck you want to do in the whole marketplace.
That's dope.
Which is cool.
Right, I think I have one more written question. Is there a gig that you wish you could sell, but you've tried it before and it's just not profitable, or like it didn't sell well?
I wish I could do logo design. I wish I was really good at that. I seriously do. I think it's so fascinating. I do branding stuff, so I help people like choose logos, choose fonts, colors, like aesthetics, and just like a separate view. But I really wish I could do logos. And the other thing I wished worked well is oboe lessons, but I'm not even gonna try it because I know there's just not a market for it. And I also think that teaching oboe lessons over like Skype would be terrible, but I wish it worked.
Yeah.
Like if it worked perfectly, I would love to teach more lessons like online.
That would be super cool.
Yeah.
Because I was also wondering like why you didn't decide to do something more music related, since that was your degree, and I know that's something that you love a lot.
Yeah. I don't know how I would make it profitable. And I'm like, if I was like a composer, there are people who compose like jingles and like radio ad background music and stuff, but that's like not my personal. That's like, I'll play a song for you on the oboe. Like no one wants to buy that. I am a good oboe player though, for the record, but no one wants to buy it. Yeah.
I think those are all my questions. I can't think of any more.
I'm sure I babbled more than I made clear answers, but they're just so hard to like explain what happens up here.
Well, it's also not like a clear-cut answer, because it's not necessarily a clear-cut industry, because there's so much that you can do and so much creative freedom that it's like...
And any freelancer who even is like remotely like me, even people who are doing this like full-time, if you ask them the same questions, I'm sure they'd have like completely different answers, because it's all like what you want to do and how you want to structure it and what is a comfortable workload for you.
But I feel like it's still good to ask questions and have the conversation, because at least you can get a general idea instead of knowing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the goal of the channel too. It's just like to be more open and not to like let the like hustle culture obnoxious, like we're just grinding on Fiverr. It's like, we're real people with like real jobs, and I think it's interesting.
Real problems.
Real problems, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a video pretty soon about like my worst buyer experiences, because I just had a doozy and I'm on it, so.
Yeah, I remember when I first came out to visit you, I was like, what does she do for a living? Because I know she does something, but like, how is she making money?
I know. Usually people think Oh, you have a blog, right? Because I did have a blog for a while. It wasn't actually like monetized in the traditional sense. I was selling ads through Fiverr. And then, so they think that, and I'm like, I haven't even done that for 4 years. And the other thing they think is that I'm actually secretly like a doTERRA or LuLaRoe, like MLM, and that I'm just making money online, but I'm like selling MLM.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And they're like, but didn't you try that? And I'm like, no.
Nope.
It's definitely not what I'm doing. Or they think that I'm actually making no money and that this is just like a pride front to like say I work online and just like actually I'm jobless, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can vouch for her. She works very hard.
Thanks. Good to know.
Yeah. It's not fake. She's not
It's not fake.
sponsored.
It's not sponsored. I wish Fiverr sponsored me. We'll get there one day.
No, but even the videos that you do that are honest, people
Oh, yeah.
saying that they're not honest.
I know. I'm like, I will tell you if it doesn't work, Chloe.
Carrie will tell you if something's wrong.
Yeah. I'm a very forthcoming kind of person. But
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Eryn, for your questions.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching. If you're still here, you're my favorite. And if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe. I have more Freelance Friday content coming every single Friday. So yeah, let's get back to work.